What is going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Avengers Age of Ultron Iron Man Mark 45 figure. What is going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Daredevil19 here, bringing you guys another figure review, and this is of the highly anticipated Avengers Age of Ultron SH Figuarts line, and this is the newest addition to the Iron Man figures, which is the Mark 45, which is now my personal favorite armor for Iron Man. But if you guys are new to my channel, this is how I do my reviews. We start with the packaging of the figure first, then we move on to accessories, then comparisons, then the detail of the figure, then articulation, and then my final thoughts, and then where to pick up the figure and how much it costs and all that. But anyway, let's start the review up with the packaging of the figure. So the Iron Man Mark 45 comes in the same style of packaging as the Hulk and Captain America figures. You get the Avengers A symbol right there. It says SH Figuarts Iron Man Mark 45. Then you get a really cool image of the Iron Man figure right there. It says Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron. And then for his symbol, he has his arc reactor, which looks pretty cool. Captain America had his shield, Hulk had his fist, and then Thor will have his hammer. Right there you get Tamashii and Bandai. The bottom of it is the barcode and blah 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 stuff that nobody cares about. Then the top of it says SH Figuarts Iron Man Mark 45 Avengers symbol. Then the side of it, same thing, and then you get a cool image of the figure right there. And then the other side of it, you get a close-up image of the figure. Then it says SH Figuarts Avengers Age of Ultron. Then the back of it, a bunch of cool poses you can get the figure into, which is looking pretty awesome. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get the figure open and take a closer look at this Iron Man Mark 45. Alrighty, so for the accessories for the Mark 45, he does come with the basic SH Figuarts Iron Man figure accessories. If you have any of the previous figures like the Mark 6 or Mark 42, then you know what accessories to expect with this figure. But he comes with 8 interchangeable hands and then 6 of these blast effects or thrusters, and we'll start off with the hands first. He comes with a pair of fists, which are sculpted and painted very well. And I really like this dark red paint. It seems to be painted pretty clean where the red meets the gold paint right there. And these like armor pieces on his hands are glued on each individual hand right there, so you don't have to unpeg this piece like on the previous figures and then peg it into each hand every time you interchange it, so that's cool. But the hands are sculpted very well and painted well also. And if you notice the circle piece on his palm, it's not painted silver on any of the interchangeable hands on these figures, so I'm guessing that it's supposed to be painted all red. But you get a pair of fists, then you get a pair of like these karate chop type hands. Sculpted and painted well also. As you see, it's not painted silver on the palm, so it probably is supposed to be red. But it seems to be painted pretty clean every time you see the red meet with the gold paint right there, so pretty cool. So you get a pair of those hands, and then you also get a pair of like resting hands. Sculpted very well and painted very well also. Again, seems to be painted pretty clean where the red meets the gold right there, so pretty cool. So you get a pair of those, and then you get a pair of open palm blast hands with a peg on them. Sculpted very well and painted very well also. I'll show you how these work with the blasts. So you get 2 of these smaller blasts for his hands right here, or they could be used as thrusters. And it's a nice like orange, yellowish, translucent plastic, and then on the ends right here, they added some white paint on it to give it a little a better effect. But they just peg in right there onto his hands, just like so. And it looks pretty cool if you ask me. But pretty much every Iron Man Figuarts figure has that. So you get a pair of the smaller ones for the hand, and then you get a pair of the larger ones for his hands as well. This one's more of the blast effect one, but it's a nice orange-yellow translucent plastic, and then they put a nice white paint on the end of it right there. And then these just peg into the hand as well. Just like so, so pretty cool looking. And then the last of the effects, which is pretty much just thrusters for his feet. Same yellow-orange translucent plastic with the white right there. There's pegs on these ones, and you just peg them into the bottom of his feet right here. And then if you want to put him in flight poses, you just put the other one in, and it looks pretty cool. So those are all the accessories that come with the Iron Man Mark 45 figure, which is basic for the SH Figuarts Iron Man figures. But anyway, let's move on to comparisons. The Iron Man figure stands a little bit over 6 inches tall, and then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Hulk figure and the SH Figuarts Captain America figure, and he fits in great scale with both of them. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Super Saiyan Goku figure and the SH Figuarts Broccoli figure. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Batman figure and the SH Monster Arts Wolf Predator figure. Anyway, there's some cool comparisons, so let's keep moving on. So for the detail for the Iron Man Mark 45, I think Tamashii Nations did an incredible job with the paint on this figure. I really love all the red and the gold and the silver paint, and the sculpt is just very well done on this figure. I really like the design on the back. Looks very, very cool. Very, very nice work by Tamashii Nations. Show you guys a closer look at the Mark 45 here. On his eyes, they're just painted blue, but I love the way the light hits off it. Kind of makes it look like they are lit up, which is very, very cool looking. And then you get that nice metallic gold for the faceplate right there. And then you get a little bit of silver on the cheeks with some nice sculpt work as well. Same on the other side. And then the rest on the head sculpt is just painted all that very nice metallic red color with some nice sculpt work as well. Very, very cool looking. There's the back of the neck. Kind of looks like a spine, the silver parts right there. And the rest of it is pretty much red. You do get a little bit of silver on the side of his neck. Nice little sculpt detail though on the neck right there. Very cool looking. And then for the chest piece, this arc reactor, it's just a clear plastic piece on it, but they didn't paint it blue. I think it would have looked so much better if they put this blue color on his eyes under the arc reactor, because then it would have looked like the arc reactor was lit up as well. So that's the only thing I wish they would have done with the figure. Other than that, the paint is pretty much perfect on this figure, which is what I do expect from Tamashii Nations all the time. Very nice. Every time the paint goes into another color, like connects, like see how the red connects with the gold right here with the silver, it's very clean. No sloppy paint bleeding or globs of paint. So you don't have to worry about a bad paint job on the figure. Very, very nice looking. And then the back, I think the back is really, really cool. I just like the design of it. Nice sculpt work. Very, very cool. And you get a nice silver on his back of his arm right there. Then you can lift the shoulder pieces up, and it reveals. You see this? I think they started doing this on the Mark 42, and they did it on the 43. So pretty cool looking. This is painted nice and clean, sculpted very well. The arm looks very cool also, especially on the forearm right there. Very cool looking. Very nice. I haven't seen any sloppy paint at all, so you don't, like I said, you don't have to worry about that. The legs look really cool also. Nice gold right there with silver, and then the red. And then these are sculpted, these little circles right there. The same on his back as well. Very cool looking. And the lower legs right here. And the feet are die-cast metal, and so are these, the little flat pieces right here. This is all die-cast metal, so you do expect that with the Figuarts Iron Man figures, because all of them have die-cast feet. But very, very cool looking. Even the feet look really cool. Great job by Tamashii Nations. I like this, the back pieces right here, the silver pieces. Really cool looking. And then the leg joint right there. All sculpted detail on it. Painted very, very nice. Tamashii Nations really just did an incredible job with this Iron Man figure. The paint and sculpt, just the detail alone on this figure is worth, to add it to your collection, it's worth it. But anyway, let's get into the articulation and wrap the review up. Alright, so for Iron Man's articulation, he has 2 points at the head and neck. The head can go up about that much and then down about that much. You do get some pretty good pivot and then swivel as well. And then with the neck, he can look pretty much all the way down, then his chin gets stuck in his chest right there, so try not to do that. And then he does pretty much look all the way up, so great for flight poses right there. Very, very nice job by Tamashii Nations. And then you do get great pivot at the neck and the head right there, and then you get a little bit of swivel at the neck, but the head is where you get more swivel. You can swivel it all the way around. It doesn't get hindered by shoulder pieces like in previous Iron Man figures. And then he has the upper torso articulation. Goes back about that much and then forward that much. You get some pretty good pivot, and then it does swivel right there. And then he has like a cut right there, right above the waist joint. Like, you get a little bit more back and forward movement at the waist right there, but he has a weird cut joint, I guess, to get a little bit of more articulation right there. Doesn't really pivot there or swivel, so you get the pivot and swivel at the upper torso, but all the way he can go back about that much and then that much forward. So pretty good articulation there. For the shoulders, the shoulder armor is hinged, so it can move up and down. And then to get more articulation at the arm, you have to pop out his shoulder joint right there. And then he gets that nice armpit joint, so you get great movement right there. And then his arms go up a little more than 90 degrees, so that's really great articulation. And then they do go up and down. And then you do get bicep swivel. You have double jointed elbows that bend in all the way right there, so that's really good. And then the wrist is on a ball joint, so it does swivel and you can move it all around, so great articulation there as well. Then for the legs, you get the great Tamashii Nation shift joints, where you just shift them down, and he kicks forward a little more than 90 degrees, so that's very good. And then he kicks to the back, decent amount also, which is kind of awkward, and then he kicks out to the side about 90 degrees, so great leg articulation. He does have the upper thigh swivel right there as well. So great leg joints. I love those Tamashii Nations leg joints right there. And then for the knees, they're double jointed. They bend all the way back, so that's great. And then for the feet, these pieces right here are on a hinge, so they can move back and forth. And then you do get back and forward movement right there. And then they do swivel, and then you do get some really great ankle pivot as well. So very, very good articulation for this Iron Man figure. But if you have other SH Figuarts Iron Man figures, you know what type of articulation to expect. But overall, I do recommend the SH Figuarts Iron Man Mark 45 figure. It is a very, very well-made piece and will look very nice on your display shelf. If you have the Iron Man Mark 43 or 42 or any other Figuarts Iron Man figure, it's not a must-get figure. You don't need to get it, say if you can't afford it or something, or if you just want one Iron Man in your collection. It's a figure you don't need to get, but if you love the Iron Man figures, the Figuarts ones, or if you want to get all the Avengers, Age of Ultron figures, then you definitely need to get this piece right here. Really, really awesome figure. I mean, just the detail, the paint alone is very well done. Nice and clean. The sculpt on it is very well done as well. Also, the articulation is very nice on this figure. You can get him in some really awesome poses like this one right here, so you get some great articulation, and then you get some really cool accessories. They are the basic Figuarts Iron Man accessories, but they are some pretty cool stuff. But if you guys would like to get your Iron Man Mark 45, I got mine overseas at a Japan store online at anime-export.com. I paid about $60, but I paid for the faster shipping, so it was a little more expensive. And you can get the slower shipping, and it'll be a little bit cheaper. So if you guys would like to get yours, anime-export.com. But anyway, guys, that's my review of the SH Figuarts Iron Man Mark 45 figure. Hope you guys enjoyed my review. If you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then well, too bad. But just want to let you guys know I will have my SH Figuarts Luke Skywalker figure review either tomorrow or Thursday, and then I'll have my SH Figuarts Superman figure review probably by the weekend. So look out for those reviews next. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. how is everyone doing today? Daredevil Night. So the Iron Man Mark 45, what? That was hammer. Right there says Tamashii. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Damn it.